Assalamualaikum to Dr. Arzah. Today, we will present our assignment, which is Statistic Method and its Application. My name is Batrusha binti Muhammad, and my group members is Nur Auni Nadira, Nurin Iwani Natasha, Nur Zilawati, and Nurul Anis Usna. Okay, the title of our assignment is Monthly Student Expenses. Number 2, population and sample of the study. A population of study is all students of University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. The sample of 28 respondents represent the population of students of UPSI from outside and inside college. We have 3 objectives. Our first objective is to identify the estimation of mean, variance, and standard deviation of respondents from students of University Pendidikan Sultan Idris about monthly expenses. Our second objective is to identify the estimation of proportion for a population of female students. Our last objective is to identify the test of independence of gender and monthly expenses for students of University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. Number 4 is significance of study. The significance of this study can be concluded as the investigation about the monthly expenses of the students from outside and inside college. The study also can be served as an estimation of how much the expenses needed for a student in a month. This estimation can help students to manage their expenses well, how to save their budget, and so on. Thus, it can reduce the chance to overspend the money. Number 5 is instrument. The sample is gathered by constructing an online survey using Google Form. It contains several questions related with a student and their monthly expenses. After that, the Google Form was sent using link to all respondents through media social, such as WhatsApp and Telegram. Besides, we also use SPSS to collect and analyze all the data.
Hi, I am Zilawati. In this video, I want to explain how we found estimations of means, variance, and standard deviations. Okay, in this method, we use data gender of respondent to find estimations of means, variance, and standard deviations. This data we got from respondents. We got 11 of respondents from male and 70 respondents from female. Who respond however? Google Forms to investigate how much students spend in every month. Okay. First of all, we search mean for the data, which is number of respondents female plus number of respondents male over 2, and we got 40. Okay, after that, we search for variance. Variance, we use this formula. And we got 80. Okay. After that, we search for standard deviations, which is search formula of variance, and we got 4.2426. Okay, next we find estimations of means. Okay, to find estimations of mean, we use this formula. The value of n we have is 28. ZA over 2 we have 1.96. 95% we use as confidence level. Okay, n is less than 30, so we use T distribution level because it's small. Okay, next, we start substitute the value we have into this formula. So we got 20.4285 less than 50.5 less than mean less than 50.5715. So we can conclude as of 40 plus minus 1.5715. Hence, with 95% confidence level, the average of students answering about monthly student expenses is between 20.4285 and 50.5715 student based on 28 students. Okay, and the last, we find estimations of variance and standard deviations. To find estimations of variance and standard deviations, we use this formula, which is df is degrees of freedom. To find degree of freedoms, n minus 1, and we have 28 minus 1, we got 27. Alpha 0.05, alpha over 2 0.05 over 2, we got 0.025. Variance, we have 80. The value of variance is 80. 1 minus alpha over 2, we got 0.975. Standard deviation, the value of standard deviation we got is 4.2426. Okay, we assume that degree of freedom and choose the most accurate value, which is 27. Search the value in the table of degree of freedoms. Okay, we substitute the value into the formula, and we got 11.2513 less than variance less than 33.3493. Okay, this is for the variance. And to find estimations of standard deviations, we set the value of variance and we got 3.3542 less than standard deviations less than 5.7749. That's all from me.
So let's move on to the next part, which is the second objective. We need to find the estimation of proportions for a population of female students. We're going to use the formula P hat equal to x over n and Q hat equal to n minus x over n, or 1 minus P hat. As the information given, we already have n equals to 28, x equal to 17, and our confidence level is 95%. 95% equals to 0.05, so that our alpha will become 0.05, and then alpha over 2 we will get 0.025, and z alpha over 2 we're going to get 1.96. So we're going to use this formula and we're going to substitute all the information given into this formula. After substitute all the information into the formula, hence with 95% confidence, we can state that the percentage of answered questionnaire by female students is between 42.9% and 79.1%.
Hi, my name is Nurul Anisusna binti Zulkifli. Next, I will discuss about Objective 3, which is to identify the test of independence of gender and monthly expenses for students of University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. The use of the test of independence is to test whether two characteristics are related or not. For this objective, we use the data for gender and monthly expenses of students that we got from questionnaire before. Here are the data for gender and monthly expenses. From these two data, we consider that the data on monthly expenses for male and female students were given in the following table. And the question is, at the level of 95% confidence interval, can you conclude that gender and monthly expenses are related for all students? This is the table from the data before. For the first step, we need to state the null and alternative hypothesis. From the question, we can see that they want us to conclude that gender and monthly expenses are related for all students. So alternative hypothesis is gender and monthly expenses are related. Next is for the null hypothesis, gender and monthly expenses are not related. For step 2, we need to select the distribution to use because we want to test the independence. So we use chi-square distribution to make the test. From the question, we need to make the test at the level of 95% confidence interval. So for step 3, confidence interval is 95%. And alpha, how to calculate the alpha? From confidence interval, 1 minus 95%, we got 5%. So from 5%, we divide by 100, so we will get alpha equals to 0.05. And for degree of freedom, the formula is row minus 1 multiply with column minus 1. From the table before, we can see that the value of row is 5 and the value of column is 2. So we can plug in the value of 5 and 2 into the formula of degree of freedom, and we can get degree of freedom equals to 4. After we find the value of alpha and degree of freedom, we need to refer to the chi-square distribution table to find the critical value. For x square, for 0.05, the critical value is 9.488. Next, after we find the critical value, we need to draw the graph to determine the non-rejection region and rejection region. Okay, this is the graph. And the critical value is here. The value of test statistic, if we got the value greater than 9.488, we have to reject the hash null. If we got the value less than 9.88, we cannot reject the hash null.
Okay, for step 4, we must calculate the expected value for each monthly expenses. So we use this formula to calculate the expected value. The summation of row multiplied with summation of column over the sample size. Our sample size right now is 28. As you can see, I already show you the working step. We must calculate for each monthly expenses, but don't forget to double check your working step. After we calculate all the data, we put on a table like this. And we must determine whether this test is dependent or independent. By that, we must calculate the test statistic. We use this formula, which is summation of observed frequency minus expected frequency to the power of 2 over expected frequency. The working solution I have calculated for you, and we get 11.0201. The next step is step 5, which is we must make the conclusion. So the conclusion is the value of the test statistic x to the power of 2. We got 11.0201 is greater than the critical value, which is x to the power of 2 equal 9.488, and it falls in rejection region. Hence, we reject the null hypothesis and state that there is strong evidence from the sample to conclude that the two characteristics, gender and monthly expenses, are related for students of University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. Thank you.
Okay, number 7 is conclusion. In conclusion, the study analysed 28 respondents from all students in University Pendidikan Sultan Idris from outside and or inside college. SPSS is a software that used to analyse all the answers from the respondents. The demography shows the most respondents is female with 60.7% respondents, and the other 39.3% is a respondent from male. The results show 25% of the respondents are living outside the college, while the rest are staying inside the college. The result shows the most of the respondents spends Rm 301 ringgit to Rm 400 per month, with the percentage is 35.7%. The average of students answered questionnaire about monthly expenses with 95% confidence is between 12.4285 and 15.5715 students. Meanwhile, the estimation of variance and standard deviation of answer questionnaire about monthly expenses by students is between 11.2513 and 33.3493 and 33.3493 and 3.3542 and 5.7749 respectively. The percentage of answer questionnaire by female student with 95% confidence is between 42.9% and 79.1%. Next, by using chi-square distribution, we conclude that the two characteristics, which is gender and their monthly expenses, are related for all students University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. As the results show, the null hypothesis was rejected. The respondent response about their monthly expenses can be seen on the response for the definition, with 14.3% spend Rm1 to 105 ringgit, and also the same percentage for Rm151 ringgit to Rm200, while 70.9% spend their money at Rm201 ringgit to Rm225 ringgit, and also 70.9% at Rm251 ringgit to Rm300. The most respondents spend their money for the monthly expenses with the percentage of 35.7, which is at Rm301 ringgit to Rm400. From this study, the response from the respondent shows the most of them are spending more than Rm200 per month. The spending are likely most possibly used for food, transportation, laundry, and buying their other important stuff. It shows that the living costs nowadays are very high about to increase from time to time. Thank you, that's all from us.